Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Vafa, aka the Registry Shredder. Thank you for joining me. In this video, I'm going to show you a few ideas for how to create MIDI easily, and this tutorial is part of a series for beginner amateur home musicians. So if you haven't seen the previous tutorials, please be sure to do so, and of course be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my future tutorials. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional musician, I'm not an audio engineer. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do a live demo. Here's a little sample of what we could do with the MIDI Guitar 2 software plugin by Jam Origin. You don't need any special pickups or an additional hardware, just a guitar and an interface and the plugin and a DAW. Alright, so first we're just going to go ahead and start with this 70s analog lead. I've added a little bit of distortion to it as well. This is just a stock Logic patch, but the interesting thing here is this MIDI Guitar 2 plugin by Jam Origin. This is what actually converts the audio signal to MIDI in real time. So let's just go ahead and see what it looks like in action. Alright, so let's keep going. Alright, harpsichord, let's try it out. Alright, now let's do another synthesizer pad. So this is another stock Logic one that I really like. It's called Los Angeles 2019. So if you just do some add 9 chords, some 7th chords, sounds great. Let's try it out. Okay, so you may be wondering, why MIDI? What's so special about it? Well, being able to create MIDI quickly and easily allows you to unlock the full potential of software instruments. To me, adding software instruments to your regular old guitar metal music can take your music to a whole new level. You can think of adding church organs, harpsichords, flutes, French horns, and of course otherworldly synthesizers. But most importantly, this opens the door to something that I've always been a huge fan of since I'm heavily inspired by early Yngwie and Children of Bodom, which is the shred synth solo. So for me, the holy grail of creating MIDI has always been to do it just by playing a normal, real guitar like I've been doing for years, not to play some kind of keyboard-like instrument or a guitar-shaped MIDI controller like this. This is the plasticky piece of junk YRG. I just want to be able to play a normal guitar like this without any additional hardware or extra pickups. Okay, so now we can get hands-on. We'll take a look at a song sample. We'll look at the recorded version of my original song called Decayed Into Martyrdom, just to get a little familiar with it. There are two main lead guitar solo sections that will convert to MIDI, and both of them have a little bit of synthesizer already there just to harmonize with them. Okay, so here they are in a full mix. Let's just take a quick listen. All right, now the second one. All right, now let's listen to them soloed. Okay, so now let's look at the first of my two methods to convert this track into MIDI. So first we'll use a software plugin called MIDI Guitar 2 by Jam Origin, which is what I was using earlier as a live demonstration. This software will convert your audio signal into a MIDI signal in real time, so you can play along, which is great. It's got a ton of features that we won't cover, and it has a free trial, so I really suggest that you check it out, even if you're not in the market for something like this. Personally, I'm just really happy with it. I think it's a lot of fun to play with. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and just add the MIDI Guitar 2 effect to the audio track, and there it is. I've already added it. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. Now this has just made the track inaudible, so it disables its output. So you're going to want to make sure that the input to the plugin is a dry signal, because you don't want the plugin to have to process any additional artifacts from your tone. So as you can see from this track, I've already got it set so that it's just processing the dry signal, and all of the effects for my actual guitar tone are on a separate aux track. So MIDI Guitar 2 needs to be set up a bit before it's usable. The setup instructions are on their website, so I won't cover them here, but basically I have to load a preset that I've saved to handle my tuning, because this song is in drop C, and by default the plugin is designed to work with just standard E tuning. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create the software instrument track right below it. I'll first change the preset to a synth patch that I've saved. I just call it dual minis. Since this is all happening in real time, I can just hit record and it will start recording. It will start creating the MIDI track. And I just turn off the metronome so you don't have to hear it. All right, so let's just go ahead and hit record and see what happens. All right, there it is. So let's take a look at the recorded MIDI. There it is. As you can see, it's definitely going to have to be edited and changed up a little bit, but let's do the second solo. So as you can see, the plugin struggles a little bit with anything that has vibrato or bends or fast runs, but it's still pretty close. You can actually now remove the MIDI Guitar 2 plugin now that you've generated the MIDI and do whatever you want with it. You are going to have to do a lot of hand edits though. So this is my preferred method for creating MIDI. I can spend tons of time just swapping between interesting synthesizer patches and software instruments and just making all kinds of fun and interesting sounds. Since it's in real time, I can hear the audio as I'm playing the guitar, or I can do it with a pre-recorded audio track. And I think that the algorithm that converts the audio to MIDI is pretty good, even though it does struggle with the fast runs and the vibrato and the bends. Unfortunately, this plugin is not free. So next we'll cover Logic's built-in flex pitch feature to create MIDI from an audio signal. And if you aren't running Logic, your DAW may have a similar feature. This feature doesn't work in real time, so you're only going to be able to do it on tracks you've already recorded. And you won't be able to play your guitar live, of course. Also, in my opinion, the flex pitch algorithm is not as good as the MIDI Guitar 2. Okay, so let's just start at the top. So you're going to go ahead and select the track, make sure to go to editor mode, which is this, and then click on the flex button, which will turn on the flex track for that track, and just say yes, turn on flex. This will analyze the track, and at this point you're going to want to go ahead and choose the flex pitch option from here. And you can go ahead and make all the fine-tuning adjustments you want for things like vibrato and pitch adjustment. I'm not really familiar with this fine-tuning feature, but there's all kinds of things like pitch drift and what is this, formant shift. I'm not sure what this is, but apparently this will make the generated MIDI more accurate. But then when you're ready, you can just go ahead and say create MIDI from flex data from the editor menu. At this point, there you go, you've got your MIDI. So as you can see, by default, it's created a piano track, so I'll just go ahead and choose my dual minis patch. And as you can see, for some reason, it has actually created those MIDI parts a little bit off time, so I'm just going to go ahead and edit them. And yeah, let's just go ahead and take a listen. Now for the second. So as you can see, the flex pitch option is not quite as accurate as MIDI Guitar 2, in my opinion at least, but it's still a great option and you don't have to pay anything extra if you're running Logic. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I did quickly want to say that TuneTrack has released a product called Easy Bass, which has a feature that does an audio to MIDI conversion as well. And I suppose you could use that feature to generate MIDI, not just for the Easy Bass plugin, but for any software instrument. But I haven't tried it myself, but I have heard good things. So anyway, please let me know what you thought of this, and let me know if you had any questions or anything you'd like me to cover, and be sure to subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.